What is going on, road trippers? Road Trip Nate here, once again. Tonight, as the caption at the top showed, thought I would do my top 5 favorite travels I've been on, plus a couple honorable mentions. 2 honorable mentions. Let's get started with honorable mention number 1, San Francisco. I flew out to San Francisco in 1999 with my grandparents to my great uncle's house in Oakley, California, to pick up some of my grandpa's grandmother's, his mother's or grandmother's stuff in a U-Haul van. We flew out there to pick it up in a U-Haul van. Me and my cousin flew out there with my grandma and grandpa. So while we were there, we, hung out at their house. They didn't have a very big backyard, only maybe enough for a lawnmower to go around twice. But they had a plasma ball that we enjoyed, so I got one the next Christmas. But on the way back, we stopped at Grand Canyon. It snowed in Flagstaff, and we stopped at the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon had snow on it. That is more impressive than just seeing the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon with snow is picturesque. I mean, it is beautiful to see with snow on it. So that is why it is an honorable mention, because I was 10 years old at the time. Had my first drink of champagne while I was there, because everybody was having champagne. I'm like, oh, goody, champagne. And everybody was like, no. Don't I'm drinking that. But that is why that trip is on this list. It's because it was a memorable trip. My first and only time flying. And my first and only time riding in a U-Haul. And the first time I had to drink. And the time I saw the Grand Canyon. First time. But honorable mention number 2 is my Colorado trip from last year. Went to Independence, Kansas to outrun a tornado. Went to Dodge City, Kansas. Got bed bugs. Ate up by bed bugs. Got into Colorado Springs, Denver, and came back and went through Colby, Manhattan, Kansas City, and then Siloam. Colorado Springs is one of the most beautiful towns, one of the best towns I could think of. The natural state and national parks it has, it is just a beautiful place. Garden of the Gods, Pikes Peak, Cheyenne Mountain. It just has it all. And I'm glad I got to see all of them. I didn't get to see Pikes Peak or Cheyenne Mountain. Garden of the Gods, I showed a video last year of going a recap of Garden of the Gods. But next time I'm there, I want to go up to Pikes Peak, because Pikes Peak last year when I went, every time I wanted to go up there, it was always covered in a cloud. So I was like, man, can't go up there. Next time, I want to get both of those, Pikes Peak and Cheyenne Mountain. Garden of the Gods, I showed a recap, pictures of going through Garden of the Gods. But next time, I will get a video of walking through Garden of the Gods. Because, oh my God, it is a great place to go to. It has natural scenery and beauty just all around. It is a great place. That is why Colorado Springs is a place I would like to move to if I could afford it. And then going on with the continuation of that trip, Denver, it's a big city, but I got to see most of Denver. I got to drive through downtown. Went by the Denver Broncos stadium. Got a video of driving around there. So that's the honorable mentions. Let's see. Number 5, Chicago. Chicago, the biggest city I have ever been into, did not disappoint. Got into Chicago, drove by Navy Pier, the Chicago Bears Stadium, Soldier Field, the Bulls Stadium, I believe. Drove by the White Sox Stadium before all of those. Went down the Millionaire Mile, or whatever that thing is, the Lakeshore Drive, that's what it is. Got to the hotel with my buddy Tim Crawford. Got to the hotel. We were maybe a mile or so from the Chicago airport, Chicago O'Hare. And the planes just kept coming. So we're getting videos of the planes. Dude's like, what are y'all doing? My buddy Tim Crawford was like, oh, we're getting pictures of the planes. We never seen anything like that. Which I haven't. He's like, oh yeah, you can just stand up on the top of the building and almost touch the top of the planes as they come down. All right, yeah, I'm not gonna try that. But yeah, Chicago is number 5. Number 4, my trip to Dallas with my buddy Kenny to go see Nickelback in concert. My favorite band. We saw Pop Evil open for them, and we saw Nickelback on their album. Shoot. No Fixed Address. That's what it was. It's a good concert. We had lawn seats, but we ended up making our way towards the stadium seating. Because we're like, well, as long as nobody takes these seats, and we'll just sit here. It was a good concert. We went to the Hard Rock earlier in the day. I had lunch. It's a good lunch. I had a sriracha burger, which I love. I wish the Hard Rock Cafe had continued the sriracha burger. So, and then we went out drinking. We stayed at the Embassy Suites in Dallas. Went out drinking, got an Uber, and went to a couple bars. That was a fun trip, though. I liked it. Number 3. Another honorable mention, trip to Louisville. Before I do number 3, another honorable mention. Me and Mom went to Louisville, Kentucky, and to go visit my sister and her husband, my brother-in-law, because he was working for Walmart at the time in Louisville. Louisville was a fun town. And my mom stopped at White Castle. Maybe the first time I ever stopped at White Castle in my life. White Castle is my favorite restaurant now. But we stopped and we went to Louisville to meet up with them. My sister got so drunk there on her night out. It was freaking awesome. But Louisville was fun. Like I've said before, and probably my favorite cities I've been or bar hopping spots I've been or about Louisville. Louisville was fun. I walked from their place to Walmart and walked back, and everybody was like, "Why'd you walk? That is one of the most dangerous places in town." I'm like, nobody said anything to me. I just walked there and walked back. But yeah, Louisville was a fun town. It was a good trip. Number 3, Atlanta and Nashville. I've said this before a few times. Me and my buddy Kenny went to Atlanta to go visit his son. Stayed there a few nights, and we went into downtown Atlanta. We got directions from a homeless person. I don't know if he was homeless or not, but he was to the Hard Rock in Atlanta. He's like, "Yeah, hey, I'll show you where to go." Went up this block over, and we could have just gone straight ahead, and the Hard Rock was right there. But before that, we were gonna go to this bar, and apparently my GPS didn't switch over from going to the Georgia Dome to this bar. So apparently we were just a mile away from the Georgia Dome. We were right at the Georgia Dome. Before I'm like, it never switched over. So we're not going to this bar. We're going towards the Georgia Dome. So I got to see the Georgia Dome without really. I wanted to see it, but I didn't really want to see it. So, but Atlanta was fun. We were there during the Alabama Florida SEC championship game, so there was a bunch of Alabama Florida fans. I had an Arkansas hat on, and somebody passed me in the street. He looks at me. He's like, without realizing, I'm wearing an Arkansas hat, not an Alabama hat. So that was pretty fun. Number 2, Grand Canyon and Las Vegas. The trip I went on with my brother back in 2016 to go through Tulsa, whatever that place is in Tahlequah or Colorado. Gotta look at that. Trinidad. We drove all day to go from Palm Springs to Trinidad, Colorado. Meet up with my uncle. And then we drove to Durango the next day. Spent 2 nights there, which was fun. I love Durango. Durango is my favorite town in Colorado. One of my favorite towns ever. And so we stayed there 2 nights. I went for a walk to go, take the river walk. And then I think we went to Mesa Verde the next day. We stayed in Durango an extra night, and we stayed in Cortez. I think we may have stayed in Cortez a night, maybe. Then we went to Flagstaff, stayed a night or two in Flagstaff. I want to bar hop downtown Flagstaff because driving through there, it looked like they had a whole bunch of bar hopping spots that I would love to bar hop at. Then me and my brother broke off from my uncle, and we got to Las Vegas. Las Vegas, I would love to spend a few nights there. Bar hopping, going through all the casinos, not gambling anything, but just going through there. I would love to go through there. And I mean, Las Vegas was a fun town. Just walking through there, going through all the casinos, all the malls and stuff. I would love to spend just a couple of days and just walk through everything. Get it all on video, of course. But we ran out of money in Vegas. Went to the Grand Canyon, of course, while we were in Flagstaff. This woman had a heat stroke while we were coming back up the canyon, and she sat on a rock and just kept on going. And a million people swarmed to her. So we're like, we're not going to be able to do much good. We would just be in the way. But we hiked all the way down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon, and then hiked all the way up. Half a gallon of water on the way down, a gallon and a half on the way up. We got all the way up to the Grand Canyon. This is before we got to Vegas. My brother's like, "How are you still running?" But number one trip I'll always remember for the rest of my life, going to Dauphin Island in Alabama with my dad, my stepmom, my sister, and my 2 brothers. We had fun. It was a week-long vacation in Dauphin Island. Went to the beach every day. Got to smoke a cigar with my dad out on the balcony. Got stuck in the The parking garage. Couldn't figure my way out of the parking garage. Went to a dive bar, had one beer, and then I left. First time I've ever been to the ocean. Only time I've ever been to the ocean. Dolphin Island was fun. It was maybe I went there, and then right after that, me and my brother decided to take off. We were gonna head to Los Angeles, and we ended up going to the Grand Canyon in Las Vegas, and then turning around. But Dolphin Island was right before that. So Dolphin Island was fun. Pretty much just spent the whole time at the beach. Dad grilled out at the hotel grill a time or two. Got my first taste of salt water, which was not fun. That is the top 5 trips I've been on, plus a couple of honorable mentions. If you're new here, please feel free to hit that subscribe button after the video to stay notified on all my current and future whereabouts. And if you like this video, give it that all important thumbs up. It lets me know you care. As always, you can visit my Patreon page, patreon.com/RoadTripNate. If you feel like donating to this channel, every little bit helps and is always much appreciated. This is Road Trip Nate saying goodbye for now. This vlog is over.